life, wisdom. Hey, this is Dena Maddie with Today I Will Be Fit, and I designed this core workout because of all of the requests of people coming to me and saying, my low back pain is preventing me from working out. Does this sound familiar? Well, guess what? I've designed a workout that will help strengthen your lower back and prevent back pain while strengthening your core as well. So let's get into it. We're gonna go ahead and start with a few little cat-cows. So I wanna take your hands and then press back with your spine against the back wall. You should feel your shoulders rounding forward. And then take your chest forward and bring your shoulders back and down, arching your back and lifting your head a little bit. And the opposite. This should feel a nice release in your back, especially for all you people. Do you guys sit at a desk all day like I do? Because honestly, at the end of the day, this feels really good on my tight and sore back. So I want you to take your right hand and reach past your left knee and then go back over and left arm on the right knee. And then over, we're just gonna move. We're gonna take this time to kind of warm up the body. I don't want you doing anything that's stretching cold muscles, so definitely get those muscles nice and warm. Take your right arm up and over, and then your left arm up and over. You should really feel this in the obliques right here. You should feel this nice long stretch. But we don't want to overstretch cold muscles, so make sure to keep moving. We're gonna do another round of the cat-cows, just sitting. So make sure to press your shoulders down, but keep your back rounded, and then arch your back and round your back and sink back into the hips. You should kind of feel yourself rotating on the back of your butt, and then rotate forward and arch your back. And then left and right, left and right. Opening up the spine and the rotational plane, and then up and over, and then up and over. And you should feel nice and loose right now. And the workout that I designed is based on what I've done in CrossFit and also high intensity interval stuff. So that idea between high intensity interval training is that you're working for a certain period of time and then you're taking a break. So let's get into it right now. Okay guys, so we're about to get started. And if you don't go to the gym because of your back pain, or if you leave the gym and experience back pain, this is the kind of workout for you. So we'll go ahead and get started. And each exercise we're gonna do for 30 seconds. So you're gonna hear my annoying watch beep a lot, but don't worry, I won't make you do anything for more than 30 seconds. So we're gonna go ahead and get into our regular crunches. And what you're gonna do is just take your shoulder blades a couple of inches off the ground, but make sure that you're crunching in. Like, you should be able to touch the entire lower part of your back into the ground every time. So none of this, you're not really working your core. I wanna see you squeeze, and I want you to feel, if you have a hand underneath your back, you should feel that press down every time. That's 30 seconds. Now we're gonna do some planks. And I know it's your favorite. So we're gonna start with the beginner version on your elbows and your knees. So it's very important right now. You can either have your feet tucked in or just laying flat. I like them tucked. You wanna make sure to keep your glutes a little bit engaged. So you wanna kind of squeeze your glutes, and you wanna make sure that your core is engaged. I don't wanna see you like this. I don't wanna see you sinking those hips. It's important to protect that lower back, which is the whole purpose of this workout. So we're gonna strengthen the lower back with some Superman exercises. We're gonna start easy, so just lifting your right hand, and then your left hand, and then your right hand, and then your left hand. Keep your eyes pointed on the ground, either between 4 and 6 inches in front of your face. And that way you keep a long neutral spine. But this is going to strengthen your lower back and also work on your mobility as well. Okay, back up into a crunch position. I want you to take your chest lifted up and shoulders back and down, and lean back just so slightly. If you're just there, then stay there. I would like you to add a rotation. So if you can just do ever so slightly 45 degrees off to the side, let's start there. And this will work the rotational core that a lot of trainers and a lot of exercise videos forget about. Only 30 seconds, really not that hard. So scoot your butt forward, take your right foot on top of your knee, and just raise your glute up off the ground, squeeze your glute or your butt on the way up. And this is a really good workout for your lower back and for your glutes as well. So this will help strengthen your lower back right in there in the compression of the spine area that everybody always feels really sore from. Now switch legs. So squeeze your glute at the top every time. This is a half rep. That doesn't even count. I want you to squeeze and push up, squeeze and push up. And this is going to strengthen your transverse abdominis and your glutes as well. So you want to make sure to protect the lower back by squeezing the glute. And that will help strengthen and protect and prevent against injuries as well. And here we go. 30 seconds of rest. Aren't I sweet? I programmed rest for you. So I'm going to vary into the more advanced versions. I'm going to do one more regular beginner version. And then after that, I'm going to add some modifications. And then after that, I'm going to add some stuff for the advanced. So guys, get ready. You can stay at this level or you can add intensity. And you can always take intensity back down too if it gets more challenging. So back to sit-ups. This is still the beginner version. So I want you to tighten that core and make sure to press that lower back all the way into the ground. Put your hand underneath. If you don't know what I'm talking about, put your hand underneath your lower back. There should be no space in between that. Whenever you're up, there should be no space underneath that lower back. And that's how you know that you're engaging the entire core. This is a sit-up. You don't have to go all the way up if that hurts your back. And 2 planks, the most beginner level, on your knees and on your elbows, making sure you're squeezing that glute. Don't sink in because that is actually going to compress your lower spine. Make sure to kind of lift your hips, but not lift your butt. So you want to be in a complete diagonal. And it's not easy, even for 30 seconds. Plank is one of the best full body workouts. And it can either hurt you or help you based upon if you're doing it right. So Superman's, we're gonna add in a leg. So we're gonna do right arm or right leg, left arm, right arm, left leg. So basically the opposite leg is lifting up with the opposing arm. So right leg, yeah, right arm, left leg, left arm, right leg. There you go. And then back to crunches. And if all you can do is stay at this 45-degree angle, then stay there. I would like you to add some rotation. If you can just do 45 degrees or just as far as you can past your knees, keeping your chest lifted, and don't round your back. So don't do this. Don't do that. Keep your back straight. You kind of want to stay up on, you'll feel it on the hips. There you go. And then into glute raise. So squeeze and squeeze all the way up. Squeeze that left glute. You should feel it. And you should feel the hips fully extended. This is 30 seconds. This isn't that hard. Anybody can do this for 30 seconds. Now switch legs. And make sure you're breathing. So this will also help with low back pain, but if you're experiencing back pain while you're doing this, just take a moment and leave me a comment and let me know what you're feeling. That way I can try to figure out if it's form, if it's another function that you're doing in your life. A lot of times my back will hurt at the end of a day because of all of the poor posture I've been sitting with or using if I've been driving all day or if I've been sitting at a desk all day. Your back hurts because you're not using it properly, and chairs just make it worse. Chairs allow us to sit in poor posture for a longer period of time. If you sit like this against a chair, you're going to be comfortable. Your body's going to be supported by the chair. If you sit like this for 20 hours, I guarantee you won't end up sitting like that. So back to regular crunches. We're going to add a little bit this time and go with the elbows to the knees. And just 30 seconds of this. And you can always drop it back down to the regular sit-up. And try to keep your heels on the ground. Try to not use momentum like this because you're not isolating the core. So try to keep your feet on the ground. And with the planks, we're going to stay on our elbows, but we're going to take the knees up off the ground. And you notice how my core is tight. I'm not sinking, I'm not raising my hips, and I'm keeping my glutes tight, and I'm keeping my core engaged, and your shoulders are also back and down. This is never going to be easy. This is always going to be challenging. So down, and we're going to take opposite leg and opposite arm. So right arm, left leg. And this may not feel like much, but you are strengthening your lower back with this exercise. And this isn't going to make you have six-pack abs. It's not. Is that what you want though? Do you really want that six-pack? Let me know if you want a six-pack or if you just want to feel healthy. If you want to not have pain throughout your day. That's something that I focus on more than having a six-pack. Sure, having a six-pack is nice, but that's so much more than just doing abs and just doing sit-ups. Here's our rotating. So having a six-pack, in addition to doing core exercises and having the abdominal muscles present, is 70% due to nutrition, at least in my opinion. Not a licensed nutritionist, but in my experience, changing your diet will do, in addition to exercise, will do so much more than just exercise alone. And the benefit of having a strong core is that it balances everything out. Would you go to the gym and only do chest but not do back? And then you're living your entire life with a strong chest but you're not balanced? That's going to cause injury in the long run. So ignoring things like the core, it's not exactly a glamour muscle, the lower back. No one's going to go to the beach and check out, hey, look at that guy's lower back muscles. But at the same time, if you're out for 6 months because of an injury, you're not really going to be checked out on the beach anyways. So you might as well do what's good for you in the long run. And I guarantee you'll get that six-pack if you work nutrition and exercise in a balanced way. So 30 seconds of rest. Don't you love it when a trainer programs in breaks for you? We don't always do that, do we? So this is also really important to make sure that how are you sitting in your rest? How are you performing? If you resting like this, you're reinforcing the bad back and the bad posture and the pain that we're just talking about. Recently, we got 5 more seconds. I could start a story. Recently, I went to a yoga class, and I've tried every single bit of yoga. I've been doing yoga for about 12 years. Back into our crunches. And I went to a newer class that I've never tried before, and it was called Yoga with Weights. I thought, well, that'd be a good idea. Let's, incorporate some of the yoga and the stretching and my favorite thing, which is strength training. Well, surprisingly, whenever I went in, I was looking around the room full of over 50 people and the instructor standing at the front, and I was witnessing so much bad form. Here we go back to planks, and we're going to do them again off of our knees but on our elbows because we'll add another advanced variation the next time. So people had the worst form, and people were doing all sorts of exercises, but they were not paying any attention to their alignment because that's not something that was necessarily explained in the yoga. And I actually woke up the next day with my lower back hurting more than any other part of my body. And that's not normal. that's not what should happen. Maybe you shouldn't combine yoga with weights, or if you do, maybe you should just make sure that people are doing proper form. I don't know, but it was actually a pretty painful experience. And needless to say, I'm not going to do that again. But it's also a lot about making sure that whatever workout you're doing, that you know the proper alignment for it. All right, so this is the opposite hand. The next round, we're going to get it a little bit more challenging. We have another 2 exercises, and then we're going to do the advanced versions. Aren't you guys excited? So this is really good for your rotational core. We move on lanes of movement. We move forward and backwards. We move left to right, laterally, and we also move rotationally, so in diagonals. Most of the time when we work out, we only focus on the front to back movement. We rarely get the rotational or the lateral movement. So that's really good, really important for balancing out and preventing injury in the long run. So squeeze those glutes on the way up. The next round, we're gonna add some challenge. So the next time you do this video, make sure you favorite it. Give me a thumbs up if you're feeling the burn, if you're feeling that core. The next time you do this video, you can pick the variation and go with that the entire time, but make sure to challenge yourself. You don't want to stay at the same place that you're at. You don't want to stay at the same weight that you're at. You also want to add and continually challenge yourself. Otherwise, you'll plateau and you wonder why you're not losing any more weight. Well, your body's gotten used to that same 3-mile run or that same 40 minutes on the elliptical. If you've got to switch it up and vary it up to make your body respond. Make sure to breathe and squeeze those glutes. All right. And the next version is going to be the advanced version, all the way from the crunches to the glute raises. So if you're feeling good, if it's difficult but doable right now, then stay at the pace you're at and stay at the variations that I've shown you so far. But if you could feel like you had a little bit of a challenge, if you're not done yet, if you're not breathing heavy, if your abs aren't sore, then I'll get you there in 2, 1. Here we go. So an open crunch, legs all the way out, and bring it up. And then out, bring it back in. And you can keep your shoulder blades off the ground. If you're at it, you also can take your feet off the ground as well. And remember, you can always do a basic crunch, but this is the more advanced version, which is always an option as well. The advanced plank version is up on your legs and your knees are off the ground. You can also, we're going to start adding some feet in the next advanced version. So if this isn't advanced for you, we've got one more round, so don't worry. Just make sure you're not doing the peaking, no valleys. Keep it nice and straight. Keep your glutes tight. You should feel your body working. You should feel your legs strong. And the Superman advanced version is going to be both hands and both feet off the ground. So bring them up. Inhale. Exhale on the way up. And exhale. Try to keep your feet closer together. So don't sprawl out. This is more of a tight, and only lift them as far up from the ground as you can get. Because right now, you're strengthening that lower back. We don't want to overwork it. And that's the more advanced version. For the crunches, I just want you to take it all the way to the ground. And the advanced people can take your feet up off the ground too. How exciting! Well, don't worry. You can go stay here at the beginner version, or you can do what I'm doing, which is the advanced version. Either way, you're still getting the same benefits, and you're still getting strengthening your lower back and preventing injury in the future. And the glute raise, we're going to take your foot up off the ground and just straighten your foot. And that's the advanced version. So when I say I incorporate a core video, core is different from abs. Your abs are just in the front. It's just your transverse abdominis, your lower and your upper abdominal muscles. The core also includes the obliques and the lower back. And switch legs. And squeeze your butt on the way up. So the core is going to include the entire midsection of the body and strengthening everything from the lower backs, the abs, and the obliques, which will make you stronger, more well-balanced, and also will prevent you from doing injuries. So, strengthening your lower back muscles are really important for practical applications in daily life. Lifting groceries, picking up things out of your car, picking up your kids, all of that includes a lower back, which we rarely ever work. So think about with your rest, make sure your shoulders are back. If you're feeling the burn, make sure to favorite my video and then share it with your friends. You want to be doing core at least 3 times a week. Also check out my website, todayIwillbefit.com, where I offer tons more nutrition and fitness advice as well. All right, let's get back into it. We're going to do the most advanced version. And make sure this is a slow and controlled movement. Don't necessarily use momentum. Use your actual core for these. I know it's not easy, but it's only 30 seconds. The advanced version of this video is a lot for weight loss. The beginner version of this video can be used more for back pain. So if you want to actually protect your back, probably stay at the beginning versions. But if you want to do more of a weight loss type video, 30 seconds plank, but we're gonna walk it out and in. So start with the right foot and then the left foot. Right, left. In and out. I like those because it helps me forget that I'm in a plank and that sucks. So arms out, come up fully with the arms and the legs. Only lift them up at safe distance until you feel comfortable. This should not be strained. Exhale on the way up, inhale on the way down. And this is strengthening your lower back significantly. So if you have real lower back pain that's significant, you should try to do that at least 4 times a week as well. So rotating crunch for the advanced versions is feet up off the ground and touching the ground instead of just going midway. I know you guys can get through it. Come on. It's only 30 seconds. And after this, we're going to do one more round and then we're done. So glute raises for the advanced version. Take your right foot all the way up and then squeeze. So it's like a glute bridge and a pelvic scoop combined, kind of like a glute scoop, I would say. But you want to make sure that you're scooping your hips up and forward and that you're pushing your hips all the way towards the ceiling. Like if I had something on my foot, like I'd literally be pressing the ceiling up, which I'm definitely too short to do that, but we're using our imagination. Make sure to inhale on the way down, exhale on the way up, and squeeze your glutes at the top. We're going to go through this version one more time, and I'm going to show you guys the advanced version one more time, but you can stay at the beginner, you can go to the medium poses that I've shown you, or you can do the advanced ones. So 30 seconds of rest, and this is the whole interval part of the high intensity interval training, is that you work and you do something that's difficult for a certain period of time, and then you take rest, and then you work, and then you take rest. That's high intensity interval training. CrossFit does a lot of high intensity interval training, and sometimes they incorporate other types of weightlifting and other types of strength and conditioning as well, which is what makes CrossFit so dynamic and so different and unique, is that it incorporates a lot of different types of fitness. So one more time with the full crunch. And this is definitely going to get you a 6-pack if that's what you're working towards. But doing this 3 to 4 times a week is not going to be the only thing to get you a six-pack. I guarantee you. It's also going to be how you feel your body, what you put into your body, what you're eating and drinking. You can do this video every day for a month and ask me, Dena, why am I not getting a six-pack? Well, what are you eating? Like, now I can't, counter eating tons of pizza and beer, which I love pizza and beer. Don't get me wrong. And I love all of those things like queso and fajitas. Mexican food is my favorite. However, I don't eat that every day. So you got to make choices. And it's not even necessarily that I think some foods are good and bad. I try not to have that kind of label on foods. I just want to eat what makes me feel good. And I want to eat what's going to give me energy throughout the day and not take energy away. So if you think of food as more like the gas that you put in the tank of your car, are you going to put like diesel in an engine that requires premium? What would happen if you did that? I mean, I don't really know, but I know it's not good. And then more rotational core. So let's stop putting the unleaded crappy stuff in our high-performing engine, our Porsche or Lamborghini or something in our fancy car. Here, you want to put the best gas in to make sure that your car's running the best. So I know when I eat margaritas and queso, it's gonna taste good, but I'm not necessarily gonna feel that great that night or the next morning. So last one right here. This is our last minute of work. Make sure to check out my website at Today I Will Be Fit for more advice and workouts and nutrition info and all sorts of stuff about how I just changed my desk to a crazy stand-up desk. Yeah, I'm that girl. I have the wellness officer in my office coming up to me and giving me funny looks. So if I take it too far, don't worry, you don't have to be like me. But it's all about doing what it takes to feel good and make sure that you take care of your body, especially the 9 hours of the day that you spend working. Think about your posture, think about your back, and try to do these exercises to prevent yourself from feeling that pain. All right, guys, we're gonna do a few stretches to help with those abs. But a whole lot of stretching after abs is not really necessary. So I want you to get on your stomach and take your hands and press them right underneath your shoulder blades and slowly press up, keeping your shoulders down and back. And then exhale down. We're gonna go ahead and turn that off because we're not doing 30-second intervals anymore. And then exhale. And then on an inhale, come down. On an exhale, press back up. And try to get a little higher every time, but don't do anything that adds strain. Keeping your elbows in tight. Don't let your elbows flare. Keep them in tight. And then now take your hips back into that child's pose. And that'll help with all those planks that we did. And this will help stretch out your pecs and then your shoulders. Because being in that plank position, it's not always very fun. It's gonna make your arms hurt. And then to stretch out the abs, all that you really have to do is take your feet all the way out, take your hands up overhead. This right here is the best stretch that you can do for your abs. So breathe in, stretch deeply like you're trying to reach towards the opposite side of the room. And you're stretching your feet as far away from your hands as possible. And then exhale, come up. And try to make sure you do this video 3 times a week. Make sure to like and favorite my video so you can come back. And make sure to let me know about that lower back pain. And if this video helps, if you do it 3 times a week, I guarantee you it will. All right, thanks for visiting. Today I Will Be Fit, and have a great day. I'll see you next time.